Been a while since I've done the intro. Why hello there, and welcome to a channel update. We're here out at Strathdale. Current trail is Strath Switchbacks, a little bit more extended, wind you away, and here to just give some channel updates as to really what went wrong and what's about to go right. So what went wrong? First of all, the lack of content mainly comes down to I actually did have a lot of videos filmed, so I was going to make a bunch of gravel guides where the GoPro was going to be on the chest, and I was going to show you around some of the gravel paths here around Mednigo, but also some select destinations. What went wrong? Well, it turns out that my ordinary wide arm stance on a mountain bike is good for filming, but when you're on a much narrower drop bar bike, it actually looks quite terrible. So there goes something along the lines of 5 to 6 hours worth of footage. Realistically, after the first ride, I should have inspected the footage, noticed that the arm position was off and it was going to severely limit the field of view, but instead I got so excited during December that I did 5 to 6 hours straight up, sat down for the first editing session and just thought nope and deleted it all. Second thing that really went wrong was that we had an incredibly dry and hot summer. So on the days where it was 45 degrees, it was an absolute fry pan, and even when it chilled down, it was usually due to humidity. So it was absolutely disgusting to ride during the late December to almost mid-February period of the year here in Australia. And then immediately after, we've been rained out pretty significantly, hence why the trails are a bit damp. And then finally, the rapid trigger hub on my Fuel EX, so Jaeger that I'm riding right now, it completely gave up the ghost when I was riding Baco. So I was riding uphill, all of a sudden I wasn't carrying as much momentum, and I thought I'm not that fat and slow, and then as I was heading forward I started to go backwards. And of course, on the home front, and one of the reasons why giving the channel update here in Strathdale is that during those blazing hot days we had pretty significant bushfires around the region, and unfortunately in that, Harcourt Ravenswood was heavily affected. Thoughts and prayers to everyone that was affected by the fires. A great community that supported the local mountain bike trail, Lala Bagawa, but unfortunately, and for the sake of the trails, they were heavily affected by the bushfires. So as of mid-March 2026, trails are still closed and will remain this way until the appropriate authorities can survey the trails, survey the land to make sure what's safe and what's unsafe. And then from there, the rebuilding effort will happen. If Editing Me wants to leave in the QR code, which is the official QR code to donating to Lala Bagawa, so if you want to donate to restore Harcourt's mountain bike trails, by all means. So, to the good news and where this channel update really matters. As I said, hub was broken, now it's fixed. Hence why it's not as clicky and zippy as it previously was. All we have running out the back is a DT Swiss 350. So a heavy, chunky block, but far more reliable, far more engaging than the Bontrager rapid trigger that was fitted stock from the factory. So stock hub made it to 3,500 kilometers and gave up the Ghost. So let's see how the DT Swiss 350 goes in the long run. And so far in this ride, I really like it. It's fantastic. The tune-up is due to the expense of going down to Tasmania. So going to be filming some more GoPro guides, yay! And this time, it's an old friend of mine. It is none other than Medina. So this will be the third time visiting Medina. First time, relatively rookie rider back in 2020. Made a return trip in 22, but only did one day and with a trek session. But this time I'll be taking Jaeger itself, and hopefully might get in a cheeky review of another bike, pending weather of course. Okay, editing me, put on whatever the name of this track is as I avoid that massive pool there where I'd ordinarily ride through. With the Medina videos this time, I'm going to try a newish format. Yes, there are going to be the individual GoPro guides, again pending how well the weather is, because sometimes in Medina it's always raining, as the guys found out at Red Bull Hardline this year, and they had to cancel it. And having mud splattered on your lens is not conducive to good filming. So the new format, aside from having the fairly ordinary GoPro guides go alongside it, will be a guide to the certain grades of trail at Medina. So this is an idea that I've picked up from Lizzie's MTB. I'll pop her channel up right now, but essentially what she did was all the black runs at Medina, and it was a really good guide because I thought, well, there's one or two black trails that I want to do. What if there's a simpler one that I can also take on? How have things changed since they've remodeled it a few times? And I thought, well, I'm not that extravagant of a rider that I'll be able to do all the black diamonds or even do the double black diamonds, but I do love doing guides, and I'm not ashamed to do some greens and a fair few blues if it means putting together a cohesive package to help people if they're journeying to Medina. Now, as I go down the Diggings Dash, there's really just two other updates. One, being a mainly written article, will be one on the state of MTB, really my thoughts and opinions on how mountain bikes are currently playing out in 2026, why certain things are happening, and sort of alluding to how mountain biking really isn't that affordable and accessible as a sport as it used to be. So that will be a reasonably long-winded typed article that will go up on the WordPress site. And the other thing is that I'm now about to purchase my fourth bike rack. So I've had 3 bike racks and still have a third at the moment, but due to reasons, I now have to ditch one and pick up a brand new bike rack. And with that, I feel that with 4 bike racks having been tested over so many years of mountain biking, I think it's only fair that I can review how these bike racks were and are, and really in this current economy what people should be looking for in a bike rack. So that will come out as not only a video, but there will be a more extended written article that'll go into details on particular bike racks, since I don't have my very first one. That will be covered in the review. So that's really it. So on the horizon we have a pretty big typed article for those that want to read. We have a bunch of brand new videos coming out from Medina. Again, hopefully the filming conditions are good for it. And then finally there's going to be the big bike rack review. So until next time, keep riding, stay awesome.